Hey, good morning, guys. This video is kind of going to be a testimony slash revelations I've been having since beginning this whole health journey, and what I'd like to start with is kind of an idea I've been playing with lately, or just something that I've been thinking about. But when thinking about fact, fiction, truth, and lies, but so a fact is facts can change, and a fact is that today is Sunday, and when tomorrow comes, we'll say today is Monday. So facts can change. The truth is that that's just a measurement of like a cycle with the Earth and the Sun, and there's probably deeper truths than that. But that's an example of the truth. That's an example of a fact, and facts change, and the truth is kind of sound and it stays the same. And then you have fiction. Fiction is something we all agree is false, and we usually engage with that for entertainment purposes. Then you have a lie. A lie is something meant to be passed off as the truth that is untrue, and that usually brings harm. And even white lies do. But so just with keeping those things in mind now, I kind of want to fall back on the genesis of my health optimization, or whatever you like to call it. But so I had terrible ocular migraines. Actually, I had a lot of stuff going on, but this one thing that was driving me crazy was I was having these ocular migraines daily. No, I'm sorry, I was having headaches daily, but I was having ocular migraines pretty much every week. And they were concerning. It'd be like I'd go numb from the top of my head down to my jaw. I wouldn't be able to read. I'd have aphasia. My fingertips would go numb. Like I thought I was having strokes. I'd go to the doctor and they'd give me Vitabitol, or they try and give me Topomex, or they'd tell me it's my blood pressure. Your blood pressure. You need to get your blood pressure under control. And by that they mean take this lisinopril. And I'd kind of already lost faith in the medical field or the pharmaceutical field by that point. Because from like age 16 to 25, I was on all kinds of different antidepressants because I had depression, anxiety, and nothing ever helped. And actually, usually they just brought on an array of other symptoms. But yeah, because I didn't have much faith in pharmaceuticals, I never took the high blood pressure medication, and I just kind of in the back of my mind thought, well, one day I'll just die of heart disease or something, because I didn't think there was any other option, medicine, or this is just how we are. Was God? I've just made this way. So, and then I'm watching Jordan Peterson on Joe Rogan's podcast, and he's talking about the carnivore diet and how it helped with all this stuff, and I'm just thinking like, no way, that's insanity. But I'm like, mind you, I'm still having these terrible ocular migraines, and I have one which I could only call it a grand mal migraine. I mean, it was just awful. It felt like my head was going to explode. I couldn't think. I couldn't read. I couldn't tell you my name when it was happening. And so I go to the doctor, and it's the same thing. They give me Vitabitol. Well, they offered me an injection this time. And I didn't want it. And maybe it would have helped, but I didn't take it. So I go. I'm like, finally, this is the straw that breaks the camel's back. I'm like, okay, fine, I'm going to try this diet. I had done a little bit of research about migraines in the carnivore diet, and I had read a couple testimonies, and I'm like, well, if it worked for them, what do I got to lose? I'm at rock bottom. Like, this has got to help. I'm like really afraid I'm doing brain damage, because they seriously feel like strokes, or what you would think a stroke is. So finally, I'm like, all right, I'm going to give it a try. So I give it. And when I give anything a try, and I've been like this with everything, it's wholeheartedly, this is what I'm doing. So I gave it a fair shake. Now, mind you, I'm still afraid of saturated fats and red meat, because I have bought the lie that was pushed on us, this fiction, and I don't know, I guess I wouldn't call it fiction because it's not very entertaining, but this lie that these things are bad for you. So I'm eating nothing but chicken and eggs. And I would get this pre-made thing, this cold meal from Food Lion. It was steak strips, So I would eat that 2 or 3 times a week, and I would eat chicken wings, chicken breasts, chicken thighs every single day, and eggs. But so a week goes by, and I didn't get a headache, not once. And 2 weeks go by, I'm like, no headaches. But at this point, I'm like playing with seasonings and playing with hot sauce, because I use hot sauce religiously my whole life. So I'm using hot sauce and definitely using too much of it because I get a headache. And I'm like, well, the only thing that's changed is I added hot sauce. So I'm like, that's okay. Here's proof. There's something I ate caused this problem. So, so I get back on the wagon. I get it strict again. I'm like, no more hot sauce. And then a month goes by. Now, mind you, migraines, high blood pressure, depression, anxiety. Oh, and there was a myriad of other ones. I also had asthma. I had addiction problems. I had allergies and insomnia and intrusive thoughts. I have all these problems, and so a month goes by, and then I'm realizing, my anxiety's getting better. My depression is lifting, and I'm feeling a way I've never felt my entire life. And my brain fog. I had terrible brain fog. My brain fog is lifting. And I'm like, all of this stuff was caused by what I was eating, and I had no clue. And keep in mind also, I wasn't eating when I hit rock bottom, I was eating terribly. I mean, I was eating like probably 70% processed foods, microwavable stuff, and Pop-Tarts, and the only real food I ate was chicken and eggs. And I only did that when I worked out, and I seldomly worked out because I never had the energy, because I was eating so poorly and I wasn't sleeping. I had insomnia, and even when I did sleep, it was hard to get out of bed, and I barely make it to work. So I wasn't going to the gym often. But when I did eat good, it was only because I went to the gym. But so, a month goes by, and then now I'm like, realize my anxiety's getting better, my depression's getting better, and then it hits me one night. I like lay down to go to bed, and I just fall asleep. I'm like, I'm just passing out. Before I used to lay down, I'd ruminate on thoughts for, at minimum an hour, maximum 7 hours. Like some nights I'd be up until 3 in the morning. I'd lay down at 7 p.m. so I could be asleep by 3 a.m. because I'd just be ruminating. Like I could not get it to stop. But now it's done. It's not doing that anymore. I'm laying down and I'm passing out. And then if that's not enough of a miracle, 6 a.m. rolls around and now I'm springing out of bed. Like there'd be a 10-second pause between when my eyes opened and when I got out of bed now. It's just incredible. And then, so I'm getting this new found like appreciation for life, and now I'm starting to have hope in the world again. And this is all kind of happening in real time, but I realize it just hits me. I was like one day, and I'm a lifelong atheist. It hits me. I'm like, oh my God, there's a God. It finally dawned on me. Like this creation is just so, like there's evidence of God in everything, and it finally hits me. And so what had happened was the world didn't change. I started to change myself, and then I started to view the world differently. And then I realized that there's this God. And so not to get too far off the rails, I started reading the Bible. And I remember even telling my dad, I was like, man, I got to give this a fair shake. I'm going to really read this thing, and I'm going to meditate on it, and I'm going to, it's like it says, like, well, from your faith, there will be works. And I had faith in this book. Now that I'm believing, like I could see there's evidence of a God. And so I start to read the Bible, and I'm learning all these things. And then I read the parable about the mustard seed, where if you plant a seed the size of a mustard, if you plant faith the size of a mustard seed, you could say to this mountain, move into the ocean, and it will move. And so I planted this tiny, tiny seed, and it was a seed for my migraines. And actually what it was a truth that I planted. It was a health truth that, if I eat this way, I will find relief from my dis-ease. So, and the dis-ease that I was dealing with was ocular migraine. So I plant this tiny seed, and now it's grown into this gigantic tree, and it's branching out into everything, which is exactly what Jesus says. He's like, when you plant your seed, this seed, it grows into the biggest tree. And it branched into all these different areas of my life. Like my high blood pressure was now down. My blood pressure, which the last time I had been in the hospital for a panic attack and a migraine, it was like 205 over 110. It was something astronomical. Now my blood pressure is 135 over 60. It hasn't been that low since I was 16 years old. Now I'm falling asleep, and then now I have this newfound belief system. Like I have hope in the world. Like all this stuff has changed. The branches have grown into everything, just like he says. And so the point of that is I recognize there is a great truth in this way of eating. And I also recognize that the fact is carbohydrates and processed foods, they will keep you alive. They will keep you alive. Now, are you going to be optimized? Absolutely not. Are you going to be sick? I liked it. I hate it. The fact is, yeah, probably. You're probably going to deal with some disease. Now, are these lies that were pushed onto us? I don't know. I don't know. You know, if you go down the Ansel Keys route, there's a lot of stuff out there about Big Sugar and Kellogg's and all that, and you do your own deep dive. And oh, here's the other thing about religion, or about Christ and the gospel in the New Testament is, if you knock, the door will be open, and if you ask, you will receive. If you seek, you will find. And that it's absolutely true. Absolutely, that is true. Now that I'm knocking on these doors, like the door of health, the door's been opened. Everything's gotten better. Now that I'm seeking, and I'm earnestly, genuinely seeking the truth, and seeking, just remission from my diseases and from my, just from anything. Like, you will find those, if you earnestly seek it, you will find it. And that's what I found. It's nothing short of, it's supernatural what happens. And all of this is because of the carnivore diet and a proper human diet. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. It's nothing short of a miracle. But, so sorry if I'm all over the place and if you heard my livestock in the background. But this is just something I've been thinking about for a little while, and I needed to get it on paper, per se. But so anyway, if you found any truth in this, I hope you like the video or hit the like button. And he likes it. But yeah, anyway, thank you for your time.